That's quite an album you've got coming out. Be true to yourself.
Well, thank you, man. You had a chance to listen to it yet? Yeah,
Yes,
it's
I
okay.
have several times.
Good, good. Oh, you played it more than once. Wow.
Yeah,
That's
no,
great.
it sounds fantastic. And so I get the feeling it was kind of a co-production between you and Mark Hudson. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, that'll be very, except on the production here. Mark had really control of the production, but we really collaborated on the songs and stuff. They all came from song ideas I had.
Right.
And so, and then Mark, being a producer and the kind of guy he is, he puts himself right into it. So,
Yeah.
yeah, and I was happy with the collaboration. It was a very nice experience for me, you might say. It was great.
It sounds like it was. That positive energy comes through the songs and the production and your vocals. So it's a good thing.
Good, good, good.
And I guess, I mean, let's face it, you being the history of your band, especially Badfinger, is kind of dark, and so it's nice to see that somebody has at least come out the other side of that and is doing well these days. So congratulations on that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yeah, the band history did get dark towards the end of it, and you know, some bad things happened. But you know, you've got to carry on. You've got to go on with what you're doing. You can't stop. So just for me, and I've been a tremendously lucky man, you know, in my life. I've had really a fantastic life. I just, you know, as 1958, I had blue suede shoes, and the guy the little boy listening to that record, by the end of that record, I was a completely different kid.
There you go.
Know? I forgot about making bows and arrows and everything, and making spears and playing footy. And I went and got my brother's guitar out and started to learn, you know. And it completely changed my life. That one record, I mean it.
Fantastic.
Unbelievable. And I had my family around me. They were happy. And people have been happy with me doing that all my life, really. It's been good.
Right. I think I saw you in a band that you were in later called Natural Gas.
I was, yeah. That's right, yeah. I didn't particularly like the name, but everybody, you know, I guess, you know, natural gas didn't mean like a form of energy, although I guess it is. But, you know, it didn't mean that to me, you know. So,
yeah. No, you were in a big stadium show, and I think Peter Frampton was the headliner.
Yeah, that was the Frampton Comes Alive year.
Yeah.
76.
That's exactly right.
Yep. Great celebration year. It was the bicentennial here in America.
That's right.
And we played. Yeah, Peter, of course. He was an old friend of Jerry's from Humble Pie. You know, Jerry Shirley was our drummer. And so there was all these connections. I knew Peter from when he was the face of 68, you know, with the herd. When he was the blonde-haired guy, you know. And so it all went back a long time, that's all, even at that time. So
very cool.
It was
very
great fun. We had great fun. Yep.
Well, let's talk about what you're doing now. This is your first album in quite a while, and it feels like a rebirth almost, and you've got something to prove and something to say. Would that be fair?
I suppose so. I wasn't really trying to prove anything. I was excited with the opportunity to work with Mark. I'd gotten friendly with him, and he'd been my friend a few years. And I wanted him to produce me. I wanted to work with a great producer again. I hadn't in years. And I've been making me demo albums, you know, over the years. But I'm just working on that now. I'm really grateful the record's out. And the reception it's getting all over the world is really incredible. And I'm happy, you know, people take it, they enjoy it. I'm getting emails telling me, thank you for making this record. It makes me feel happy. And I've always tried to put a little bit of body in me songs as well, right, as far as what they're about. And so I've got a bit of that on the record that I'm happy about. And all in all, it's kind of like a real record is what it sounds like to me.
That's true.
Like, you know, it's got nice love songs on it. It's got songs about war, songs about wrong things, songs about good things, bad things. So I'm really happy to be working on it, and I'm glad it's getting received well,
Right, right. Well, the opening track is a thing called This Time, and I think that there's a
Yeah.
lyric in it that says that things are different, but we don't change, which is kind of appropriate for how things are going in the world today. So,
I think we're always like that. We all know things change, but we don't really do anything. We don't contribute towards making those changes happen. And we find ourselves every now and again where the changes have all piled up. And some of them are, I mean, they're enormous. The racial issue is enormous.
yeah, yeah.
And it has been for years since we made it in the 70s.
Yep.
It was an enormous issue then. So those things all pile up behind us, and they find like we are now. We're on the edge of a cliff right now.
Yeah.
We're hoping there's water down there when we jump. So yeah, this time sings about that stuff.
Right. Have you been living in the States for quite a while?
Oh yeah, I moved over here in 1975.
Okay.
I married a girl from here, Kathy Wiggins. She was my wife for 39 years. She passed away in 2009. Good Lord brought me a new girl. Now I got a girl named Mary. And I live in Minneapolis, St. Paul. Share a place here with my son. Yeah.
Right, right. So you got a feel for the place and the politics and all that stuff.
Yeah, a little bit of one. Yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of this track, This Time, and a couple other ones, there's you've got Julian Lennon singing some BVs on it, which kind of brings us back to that classic Beatle connection that you seem to have. So how did that happen?
Sure. Well, I've met Julian several years ago. I went to see him when the Blot album came out. Introduced myself and stuff. He was really sweet. We never became great friends or everything. I think he lives in France or somewhere, and he's gone on with his career, some great records, and he's a photographer now.
Oh, right.
Anyway, Mark knows him. Mark Hudson knew him, and he called him up and told him I was doing a new record, and he was made up. He was very happy about it. He's a Badfinger fan as well, and so he said he'd come and sing on it. Mark asked him, "Want to come and sing a bit on it?" Yeah, I do. So he came and sang on it, and he did a great job for us. He really liked the songs, I'm happy to say.
Oh, good.
And it's lovely. I've had a few friends come and do that. Yeah. Excuse me.
Sure.
But it was really super. It was sweet. We did a day's work in New York City. Mission Sound, the old recording studio there. I just had great collaborators coming in and working when we were doing stuff. Julian came in. The engineer was a guy named Mario McNulty, Grammy-winning engineer. Did several David Bowie records.
All right.
A lot of other great ones besides. So he was really a real figure in what the sound is like.
Right. And the sound itself is kind of almost like a wall of sound kind of throwback to Phil Spector and that kind of thing, especially on like Rainy Day Man.
Yeah. It's not so much an echo thing, but like Spector was, but the backing vocals, and we used a big band in it. We had horns, strings, keyboard players, drummers, of course, bass. Lots of players, 3 or 4 guitar players playing slide and playing licks, and everybody just put their 2 cents in. And Mark is remarkably focused in the production process. So he's able to cherry pick the musicians, cherry pick their brains. He's full of ideas, Mark. He could do the whole album himself. But he could. That's how big his talent is. I mean, his vocal range is phenomenal. And but he gets a musician and he takes that musician's 2 cents, and he'll shift it around a little bit, and that riff will go in there and it'll kill you. So I love the way he did it. Yeah. Same with the keyboard players. We use B3s and little old Wurlitzer electric pianos and stuff like that we used to use in the old days.
Yep.
And all the years and ours, we used to do that ourselves anyway. So that was a great time. And it was lovely, and people are enjoying it. I think it's very human.
So. Absolutely. How much guitar playing do you do on the record? Because I know there's several guitar players listed.
I play most of the solos and most of the slide work. Mark went out and about around the world, and while he was there, he would get people, oh, making this record, play a bit of guitar for me. So there's all these guitar players on it.
Right.
Paul Santos, Jay Shepard. I want to remark on Jay's a young guy out of New York, killer rock and roll guitar player, and that's. I mean, I'm all about that, So it was great, but I played a lot of guitar myself, Yeah.
I liked, particularly on "I Don't Want to Be Done with You." There's
Yeah.
Is that? Yeah.
That's a nice slide, a nice lick in there. You mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Fun and games. I did the demo of that record with my brother, Doug. His name is. He's my younger brother. And on the demo, he played a lick kind of like that, So we took and smoothed it out a little bit. My brother Doug's an incredible lap steel player.
Really?
A dobro player, yeah. Real authentic, real blues. He's good. Doesn't do it for the living, never did. He's a metallurgist. His name's on the patent for the stent.
Yeah.
Isn't that something? Yeah, Joey Molland. Yeah, he's way more famous than me, man. Yeah. Probably made a lot more money as well.
I see.
Yeah.
It's great. And another song I wanted to touch on was the final song on the record, "Be True to Yourself."
Oh,
It's also the title track, and it just has this, again, it's very optimistic. Things will be better in the future, that kind of thing. Are you feeling that way these days?
Sure I do. I'm really positive we'll get by this virus. Take a lot more than this virus to put us down, man. That's a fact. So we're going to get by it, and I don't know if things will return to normal. Really don't. Some things will change, but I think we'll be back at it. A year from now or something. And in the meantime, we'll live and do the best we can, and that's what we do, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Have another cup of tea. Go make a cup of tea. A piece of toast.
Exactly.
It'll work out.
That fixes everything.
That's right. That's right.
And at the end of that track, it kind of falls into kind of a thing that reminded me of the end of "Strawberry Fields Forever," and it's that Beatles connection keeps coming back with you, I guess.
Yeah, well, it was part of Badfinger too. When Badfinger made it, we were working with the Beatles. They'd already introduced us to that world, that music world, I mean.
Yeah.
So we all had it. And actually, when Badfinger was doing concerts, music was changing then into that kind of fusion, jammy world where songs got to be 8 minutes long. And
right.
We started doing that on stage, and that's been a part, really, of my music ever since. Never really done it on but a couple of songs since then. But yeah, I think it works. And with Mark producing, I think the elements of it are nice, and you get to jam those little licks. That little guitar lick in there is nice. Those kind of things. And it was just fun to do. It's good, it takes your head somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
And one of the descriptions of what you guys did is power pop. I was wondering if you were comfortable with being referred to as a power pop band.
It didn't make any difference to us, really. Later on, people said we invented the form. All we did was play songs like we thought of ourselves as a small beat group, a little band. And that's the way little bands play songs. You know what I mean? So if that's called power pop, then that's what it is. I don't know,
Because, no matter what was just I love that song.
Yeah, it's a flat out great song, man. And Baby Blues the same. They're great tunes, man.
Yep.
Pete was at the top of his game. At the top of his game doing that stuff. Yeah.
Man. And I was always kind of curious, because I'm old enough to remember when like Come and Get It came out, that everybody kind of thought that there was no real Badfinger, that you were just the Beatles kind of in disguise. What did you guys think of that?
We didn't know what to think, really. We were kind of embarrassed about it. We were surprised by getting those kind of compliments, you know what I mean? That we sounded like them. Because you know the way when you look at a picture of yourself, you'd always look like shit, don't you? You know what I mean? You go, you know what I mean? You go, oh, God. But everybody says, wow, what a great photo. And it was like that with Badfinger. They were going, what a great band, what a great band. And we were paranoid about the band, you know what I mean?
Man.
Yeah, we always thought the other bands were better, you know, played a bit tighter, did this. We sang good, we could sing harmony good, I know that.
Yeah.
And we had confidence in the other three guys, but individually we were all a bit nervous, a bit worried about it, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Just
I
the way
mean,
it was.
it's a shame that the band has kind of come to having this kind of very dark legacy, but you must have some fantastic memory. What's the high point of the band's career?
I just loads of them. The hit records were great, all of
Yeah.
them. Doing the Bangladesh concert.
There you go.
You know that concert's raised $250 million.
It's amazing.
$250 million for UNICEF.
Yeah.
For
Yep.
UNICEF. And I got an award for that. I got like a, you know, they
Good
sent me a
on
big
you.
plaque. I mean, that's incredible, isn't it? All I did was play the guitar and that and kind of goof off. It was great. Playing on the Imagine album was fantastic.
I can imagine.
All the recording we did, Abbey Road and Chris Thomas producing, Jeff Emmerich, Mal Evans, George Harrison. We got to work with all these guys. Leon Russell came and played a bit of piano with us, and he really liked our songs. You know, he came and told me himself, those songs are great, man. And he was talking about Suitcase, a song I wrote, you know, because that was his kind of beat. You know?
Right.
Well, it was fantastic all the way down the line. We did Carnegie Hall, all the great gigs. Just at the time of our lives, we were like 23, man, riding around on an old New York bus. We had bunks screwed in it, you know, in the floor. They took the seats out.
Right.
And I met my wife on those tours. Had my kids. It was like a whole total life experience for me. It was just fantastic.
Right.
Really.
Do you go back to Liverpool much at all?
Every couple of years, I go back there and do a show at the Cavern, do a set there. They have a Beatle week there in Liverpool, so I go back and do that. See all my mates, and you know, there's a part of me that wishes I'd never left Liverpool because I love it so much.
Yeah.
The people are so great. Liverpool's soccer team, you know what I mean? There's all these big buzzy things for me in Liverpool. You know, I worked on the docks in Liverpool when I was 15. You know, I worked there for about 2 years, and I love Liverpool. To me, it's one of the greatest cities in the world. You know.
Right. Now we'll get back to the record because that's what we're here to talk about.
Okay.
I also see you have somewhere on there is Mickey Dolenz from the Monkees.
That's right, yeah.
So what did he do?
He sang on it. He sang backup vocals and he sang those high harmonies. You know, he's got a tremendous high voice.
Right.
Way up there like that. He's a lovely man, you know. I've seen him at shows over the years, but I never met him. Well, last year I did, I guess about 3 months on the road with him, did about 40 shows. And he was lovely. I got to know him. And, you know, he's an actor, you know what I mean? He's not really he used to be a musician before that when he was a kid. He used to do, and when he got older, he did Chuck Berry stuff.
Right.
And I'm a real Chuck Berry freak. So he had that music history we could talk about. And then when I saw him perform the songs, we were doing the White Album. So he would do I'm So Tired.
Yeah.
Or Hey Bungalow Bill. No, not Hey Bungalow Bill, but I'm So Tired. Anyway, the reason I'm bringing him up is because he would become Mickey Dolenz.
Yeah.
And he would come on stage and perform those songs for you.
Right.
As an actor. He was bloody great. It was bloody great. And again, I played my rough mixes on the bus, you know, the way you do. And on the tour bus, I mean. And the guys all liked him, and Mickey liked him too. And so, you know, he kind of volunteered to come and do a bit of singing with us. So it was great.
Very good. Very cool.
Oh, yeah.
So the album is officially out on Friday, correct?
That's right, yeah.
So have you got anything special lined up?
Omnivore Records. I don't really know. You know, I don't have a manager, so I've been handling a lot of the all of the stuff. I've actually just signed with a manager because I can't stand it. I'm going like this, you know.
Yeah.
Because there's so much to bloody do. I never really appreciated it. So I've got a team together, and we're working. Mike Brandbold is doing me media. I've got Adam Lewis doing the FM radio because I want to do an FM radio campaign as well. I love FM radio as well, you know.
Right.
I love the DJs, man. I love it. You know, I love the way they chuck the records up. You know what I mean? And going and seeing them. I remember going into Wolfman Jack and all those guys in the old days. And they were great. They were crazy, but they were great, you know. So I love all that about it, having a record out near in my car on the radio. You know, it's one of the things. So doing all the normal work things and getting photos taken and, you know, the way you do, like.
Yep.
I've made a couple of videos.
Oh, cool.
I made the videos myself with some friends. So that's cool. I'm going to do a whole album of videos for the record. Right. We'll put that out in a couple of years. But as each song comes out, we'll put a bit of video. But that's what I'm doing.
Cool.
That's what I'm doing. Trying to sell me record, man.
There
Please
you go.
buy it. Please buy it. Costs a lot of bloody money to make a record.
I'm sure it does. Yes. Well,
it's a lot of fun.
You ought to be able to get a couple of coins back after making this. So it sounds pretty good. Yeah.
We'll see. Good Lord willing, man. Good Lord willing. It'll be all right.
All right.
I hope the kids. It's all right.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I hope the kids will give it a listen.
Yeah.
The younger buyers, you know what I mean? My buyers will give it a listen, I think. But, you know, it's hard to get that young market, man. A lot of competition, you know?
That's a fact. I've talked to many, because everybody's doing Zoom interviews because they're all locked up and they got nothing else to do at the moment. And they're writing songs left, right, and center. So it's going to be a lot of music out there.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking forward to getting back out and playing live.
That would be nice.
I'd love to do that. We'll probably get into it next year, spring, summer. You know.
Yeah. Well, come on down to New Zealand if you get a chance.
Any chance I can. Yeah.
Have you ever been down here?
I've been down to Australia. I've never been to New Zealand, no, I'm sorry to say.
Something to look forward to.
Yeah, it is, man. Bring me down.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for talking to me. Thanks for making this record. It's fantastic.